back at the end, so no worries there. So, but my name is April Wagner, and I'm excited to be your host tonight, along with my husband, Bob. A little bit about Bobby and I, just, if we haven't had the pleasure of meeting you, we've been in this industry now for 29 years, almost 30 years at this point. And we actually spent 25 years, our first 25 years with one company, in which we worked pretty much about 95% of the time with physicians. And I have to tell you, in all that time, we never heard about what I'm going to talk about tonight, activation. So we were very much surprised to hear about this amazing science. And what I'm going to get to share with you is probably unlike anything else you have heard of, because like I said, we worked with lots and lots of physicians. We did over $200 million in sales with those physicians over that time, which netted us quite a bit of money, but we had never heard about activation before that. So I'm going to go ahead and start to move these slides along. We're still admitting a few more people, but I'm going to talk about the difference between supplementation or supplements, and maybe you're familiar with that. If you're not, supplements is simply that maybe that multivitamin you're taking, or, with this pandemic, a lot of people have been told by their doctors to take vitamin C, take vitamin D, things like that. Those are all supplements. Those are things that we are adding to our body. Tonight, we're going to talk about very exciting science called activators. And it really is simply making our body do what it did when we were younger. Who doesn't want to turn back that clock? Who doesn't want to feel a lot younger? So this all began with a simple question that this doctor had in the lab. Is declining health something we must accept as part of aging? And to me, this rings true, too close to home. Bobby and I took care of my grandmother for many years. In her last few years, there's actually a statistic that says the majority of us, our last 10 years on an average, will spend those last 10 years in declining health, where we will need some kind of support, medicine, maybe some aides in nursing homes, some people to help us. And so, this scientist was really excited about finding out what he can do to keep our bodies young. And so he went into the lab, and in the 60s, 1968 to be exactly, he found out that we can actually have our bodies create their own antioxidants. And this was super exciting science at that point, little known to most of us, but if you'd been a scientist or a doctor, you might have heard about it, that there's a pathway that creates these antioxidants. And so he was awarded the Elliott Crescent Award. And that award is really for having the most impact on human life worldwide that year. One award worldwide for having the most impact. So very, very exciting award. But the downside of that was that this pathway that creates all these antioxidants to keep our bodies healthy stops working in our 20s. And so we now know that aging starts as early as our 20s. Well, he went back to the lab for a few decades and later found out that that pathway that stopped working in our 20s, he could actually reactivate and turn on. And this is where it gets super, super exciting for us. So this pathway is called NRF2 activation. And he figured out how to flip the switch on this pathway so that we are no longer destined to our parents' genes. By using products like these, we flip on our good genes, we turn off our bad genes, and we really are only destined, and I hear different figures, anywhere between 80 to 90% of our genes are going to be good genes now, and we could turn off all those bad genes. So super, super exciting science here as to how we can keep healthy, how we can look younger, feel better, live longer, just have all those great things we want. So a little bit of the science, we talk about oxidative stress. And oxidative stress is really the difference between the amount of free radicals our body creates while we're exercising, using microwaves, certainly our cell phones, water, pesticides, exercise, all that stuff creates a lot of free radicals. Just breathing, eating, talking creates free radicals. But the flip side of that is the amount of antioxidants. You may have heard fruits, vegetables, and supplements that we take in, those are antioxidants. So the difference between those free radicals we create and those antioxidants we take in is a term they call oxidative stress. And you can see with this cell, oxidative stress is really bad for our body. So this scientist came out with this product call Protandim NRF2. And this is super exciting because it reduces that oxidative stress that I was just talking about that is so bad for our bodies, reduces it by 40% in the first 30 days. And Protandim actually activates our bodies to create 1,000,000 times per second the antioxidant value. And this is huge. And it does it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You may have heard of glutathione. It increases glutathione by some 300%, which is super, super hard to increase in our bodies because we don't get the absorption and we just can't increase it. So this was, again, really exciting science that they found out. So exciting that they have patents on this product, 13 patents, because as you can bet, every pharmaceutical, every nutraceutical company out there would love to have the duplication of this product. And it's such a simple product. It's a special, special recipe in which he's added 5 plant-based ingredients. And I got to tell you, Bobby and I, again, we were in this wellness nutrition industry for the last 29 years. We took some of this stuff, you know, on a daily basis. We took green tea and some supplements. We took ashwagandha. We took turmeric in supplements we took. So, you know, we could have said, no, why don't we just add 2 more plant-based ingredients, 2 more pills? What's the big deal? Well, I can tell you, one, I'd rather take 1 pill as opposed to 5. But this recipe that he has, these 5 plant-based ingredients that he's put together, this recipe gets 1,800% better results. So just huge. Who wouldn't want to take the 1 pill as opposed to taking the 5 pill? But it gets even better than that. You know, this product is the equivalent, this one little pill we call low yellow activator is the equivalent as if every day you took in or ingested 11 pounds of blueberries, 375 oranges, 120 vitamin C, and 87 glasses of red wine. And I kept saying, I'm going to add this up. I'm going to add this up. Do you know that would probably cost you at today's food prices, not even tomorrow, because we know how fast food prices are going up, about $700 a day just to be able to get that in. Or again, we can take this one little yellow pill. And this is where it gets even more exciting. All this is such exciting stuff. But the Protandim, if I took the blood of an 80-year-old who'd been on Protandim for 8 months, and I took the blood of a 60-year-old who'd been on Protandim for 6 months, and the blood of a 40-year-old who'd been on Protandim for 4 months, and a 20-year-old. And if I took all their blood, each of their bloods, I could not truly tell which's blood or whose blood was that originally of the 20-year-old, which means we would all have the blood of a 20-year-old, which, you know, for me is super, super exciting. And I'm sure for a lot of us, that is super, super exciting to be able to have the blood of a 20-year-old. The NIA actually did a study that NRF2 Synergizer extends life by 7%. Again, so many studies out there, and we're going to go through a lot of them. You know, there's 2 sites in particular where you can double check everything I'm saying. And I love this because with our first company and working with all those physicians, again, a lot of what I said, whether it be the amount of vitamin C or D you took, the amount of omega or whatever, that was always kind of our opinion and what we were taught. Here, this is facts, this is science. And there are some actually 250,000 studies on PubMed that relate to oxidative stress. There's actually another site you can go to Google Scholar and you can type in oxidative stress. But what you won't see with most product is PubMed has some 30 plus studies directly related to the product, on the product itself, not the ingredients, but on the product itself, which is huge. So again, you can go to Google Scholar, you can go to PubMed, anyone can go to these sites. Typically, unless you were a doctor or a scientist, you didn't go, but there are tons of studies. And again, because this is so interesting, these are independent studies done by large medical universities, because this is exciting science. Harvard did one, the National Institute of Health, Washington State, in their studies said that the health effects of NRF2 may well become the most extraordinary therapeutic and the most extraordinary preventive breakthrough in the history of medicine, and likened it to things like aspirin and penicillin and even today's stem cells. So just, this is such a huge discovery. I want you to just even get a little bit of a handle on how exciting it is. But then we have another product that deals with mitochondria. Mitochondria is the energy that we have at a cellular level, and we need this energy to keep ourselves healthy, to have, you know, the energy to do things. Each cell in our body can have lots and lots of mitochondria. Something like a muscle cell or something may have, 8,000 mitochondria per cell. The sad part is by the time we reach midlife, we've reduced, because again, lifestyle, foods, different things, stress, we've reduced about half of this mitochondria. So, that's kind of a direct correlation to how they say that after age 40, it's downhill because we just don't have the energy to do the things we want or our body to be able to repair itself as it needs to. So Protandim NRF1 helps increase this mitochondria, this ATP, to slow down the aging process. It improves sleep quality and cellular repair. It supports cardiovascular and brain health. And it just, improves all of our cells so that we can be the best version of ourselves and have the energy that we need. So that's the Protandim NRF1, our second theory of aging. Our third theory of aging is equally exciting, and it's called NAD. And this is something that you can see. It improves mental focus, concentration, positive mood and motivation. It's libido, it's weight loss, it's inflammatory response, it's cholesterol levels, it's exercise endurance, exercise recovery. I mean, it helps so many different areas. And basically, it's a protein at a cell that, again, as we get older, greatly diminishes. And, we just need this stuff to be able to stay healthy and be how we were when we were so much younger. What's really cool about this, there are many copycats out there. Again, NAD here actually activates 100% in the first 24 hours. And there have been many people, maybe you've heard of intermittent fasting. People have kind of really starved themselves, gone on diets of 400-600 calories a day in order to try to get their body to produce more of these proteins, these sirtuins at a cellular level, so that they can feel the benefits of this product. And like I said, this is a product you take that first day, within a few hours, you absolutely feel it and you love how you feel. So great results, from the NAD. But what's even more exciting is, because these products are so category creating, we've gone back to the lab and they've actually done some studies now on using all three of these together. Because people would say, well, which one should I use? Which one is best for me? Using the three of them together, and again, this is patent pending, we get 2,100% better results when we use the three of these products together. And again, that is just so exciting. That NRF2 activation, we also have, because it's good on the inside, we have it on the outside for hair care, skin care, and also brain health. But what's really cool about our products is not only are they very results oriented and do we get great results for them, but they're very clean products. And you'll see there's an app on your phone that anyone can go to called Think Dirty. And Think Dirty will literally gauge on a scale of 0 to 10 how clean your products are. And so you think about standing under the shower with shampoo or even body wash, that hot water opening your pores, you want a really clean product. I challenge you to download this app and take whatever shampoo or cleanser you might have in the shower today. You'll find that our products, whether it's skin care or our hair care, it at most is a 3, but most of them come in really clean at a 1 or a 2, and some are even a 0. So we have some really super, super clean products there. So to kind of sum everything up, we've got products that really are results oriented and do so many things, really turn back the clock on that aging. They improve sleep, vitality, energy. You'll have better memory, focus, concentration, healthier hair, skin, and nails, increased libido, weight loss, and my personal favorite is that to have the blood of a 20-year-old. And I think I should put a bunch of ours. We've done some before and afters after having been on these products for 2, 3, 4 years and how we look today as opposed to when we looked then. But the product story is really cool and certainly unique. But the story behind the company is equally unique. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have my husband come in and he's going to sit down and he's going to share a little bit about what our company is all about and the really cool story that's behind that. So thank you so much for your time. And if you just wait 1 minute, thank you.
Hey, good evening. Does that excite you? I mean, think about it. I was online with you in the other room watching as April was going through the products, and I'm looking at everyone on the screen, and I'd say most of us are over 20 now, right? It's pretty reasonable. Think about it, being able to not be able to decipher the difference between the blood of a 20-year-old and that of a 40, 50, 60, 70, or 80-year-old. I'm telling you, that's exciting stuff. Okay. That is amazing stuff. And, you know, I've said this before and you may have heard it, but you know, with those products, if one is good, two is better. I figure if I'm twice the size of April, then I'm going to take two, you know, but it's amazing product. And guess what? It's the best kept secret in the country and around the world. And I want to share some information about that with you, because you have to realize pharmaceuticals, big pharma would kill, okay, to have this science and this technology. But see, it's natural plants. So they just can't make the money with it, you know, and we own the patents, and the patents are global. They're all over the world, and they just can't have it. You know, this is God's creation, you know, but what they wouldn't give to be able to market and say what the product does. See, we need to be careful with it. Okay. I'd love to tell you some real benefits of products, but let me tell you this. If you got anything going on that kind of is tied to inflammation, man, you need to get on this product immediately. Okay. Because here's the bottom line. Inflammation leads to disease. You have a lot of inflammation, you're going to have disease. You keep your inflammation low, and you're probably not going to have so much disease. Okay. It's about all I can say, okay, without making any claims. But I'm telling you, you got anything going on that you want to kind of deal with, oxidative stress, which is what gets reduced with the Protandim NRF2, that reduces inflammation, and you reduce inflammation and you reduce the likelihood and severity of disease. So that's just facts, okay? But you know what's really cool? The business side of this and kind of how it came about. And I want to take the last few minutes to share that with you, okay? Like what is LifeVantage? You know, LifeVantage is who markets this product, okay? And the story, even though the science began back in the 60s, the story really began when ABC Primetime decided to do an investigative report. And this is 15, 16 years ago. This is back in 05. We weren't selling the product yet, you know, but they heard the claims about the product. And if you know anything about ABC Primetime, you know, the investigative report, it's kind of one of these gotcha shows that trying to catch you, you know, in a scam or cheating or lying, or, you know, it's one of those caught you kind of things. Well, John Kiyunis went in, had his own blood taken so his own blood could be checked. So they took his blood, he went on the product. He didn't wait 30 days. He came back after just 2 weeks and had his blood checked again. And his oxidative stress hadn't gone down 40%. It had gone down 45% in just 2 weeks. That investigative report kind of became our commercial, and somebody might have showed it to you. I use it all the time to show people how amazing the product is. And, you know, we have it on YouTube, and anybody that sent you this could send you the, you know, the ABC Primetime report. But that led to us ending up on the NASDAQ. So we're on the New York Stock Exchange now on the LFVN. We're currently a $250 million a year company. Okay. But here's where everything got interesting. We were attempting to sell the product, and I wasn't with the company then. We've only been with the company 3 years. Okay. But they were attempting to sell it in pharmacies and vitamin stores, and none of the salespeople knew what it did. So the product didn't sell. It was just this little blue pill, blue bottle, not blue pill, blue bottle. It's a yellow pill. And nobody knew what it did, so it didn't sell. We hired some consultants, and they said, this is the perfect product for a direct sales program or a network marketing program. It's a product with a story, and the story needs to be told. And that launched an entire industry called nutrigenomics. And if you're not familiar, and April mentioned this a little bit, if If you're not familiar with nutrigenomics, because it's a fairly new science, but it's the way food and vitamins and nutrients, okay, interact, listen to this, okay, interact with our genes. Remember April was saying we can now control a lot more of the genes that we were born with that we never thought we had any control over? Well, that's that industry of nutrigenomics, and that's going to be a $17 billion industry in just the next year or two. I said we're currently doing 230, 240 million a year in sales. And just, well, 2 years ago now, Erin Brockovich joined our corporate board of directors. And she's a worldwide health advocate, and we're happy to have her on board. So that's a little bit of background on the company, but we're international. Okay, our biggest market is in North America. It's probably 60% or 65% of our global sales, but we're in 22 other countries. We're weeks away from opening the Philippines, and there's there's a bunch of other countries that we're targeting for opening. But 22 countries right now are open, and we can build a business there, or we can sell products there, either or. Now, I appreciate your time, but there's a couple questions I want to ask you, okay? And the first thing I want to share is the benefits that come with a business like this, okay? And what do I mean a business like this? An online business, okay? A business where there's no bricks and mortar, there's no employees, there's no big overhead, okay? What kind of benefits go with a business like this? Well, first and foremost, what probably the one that excites me the most is you can work from home, make your own hours, or anywhere you happen to be if there's cell service. Because it's a business mostly we do from our phone using an app on the phone or text messaging from the phone. Okay, it's a social sharing business where we text and use an app, okay? We share videos, we share stories, we share links, we share, we're not the presenter, we're the sharer of information. Everything is virtual, okay? And you can see the computer screen on there. Okay, we all have our own online website for all 22 countries, okay? We get involved in the business and we are immediately an international company. There's minimal startup costs, there's no inventory required. And every market, okay, every market out there is the language changes on the website as we go to it. It's really neat, okay? You can run a global business from your home or your cell phone, wherever you happen to be. Now, let me ask you, with this pandemic, it's 19, 20 months into it. Do you think being able to work from your phone, home, or online would have been beneficial? I mean, look at what went on with a company like Amazon. They doubled in size during the pandemic. It's a phenomenal thing to be able to have a business that you can work from home if needed, or anywhere that you happen to be. Now, look at some of the earning possibilities. And I'm going to keep this very simple. And I'm just going to use 3 numbers. Okay. You see the 3 red arrows. I'm going to talk about an extra $600 or $700 a month, an extra $3,000, $4,000 a month, an extra $13,000 or $14,000 a month. Okay. Those are the 3 numbers. You heard April mention the products, that Tri-Synergizer. Do you realize that if there were about 50 people using the Tri-Synergizer, okay, you would earn an extra $600 a month, $600 or $700 a month every month. See, it's a subscription business. The subscription goes out over and over again because we give a big discount, okay, when they're on a subscription. So, and it's easy to cancel, it's easy to change. But do you know you can make between $3,000 and $4,000 a month with 200 people using that product that April talked about? Okay, and you say, well, I don't know 200 people. Let me ask you something. Do you know 10 people who know 20? See, I'm talking about an entire team, not you personally. Okay, if you look at the 3rd arrow, it says 13,000 and change, 13,400. Okay, now you're talking 150, 200,000 a year. Okay, that's the income at that point. Okay, that is These are very, very doable numbers. That's about 1,000 people using the product, okay, or 10 people with 100 customers, or 20 people with 50 customers. That's all that is. The beauty of this business, we have a reorder rate that is 600% better than the industry average. What do I mean by that? Well, the industry average for direct sales is thousands of companies. The average is about 2 months. So somebody goes on a subscription or, a monthly order, they let it come twice and then they cancel it. Do you know that we are better than a year? People stay on it. That's 600% better than the industry average. Well, how could that be? Well, that's because the product's that good. Okay, that's why that happens. We've only been involved, it'll be 4 years come November, and we've already had people that have been on the product for 3.5 years. And they say they will never come off it, okay? Hey, that's a good business to have a piece of when you get a customer once and you keep them for a lifetime, okay? So is this a good business opportunity? Let's just consider this, okay? Well, what do we got? We have unique patented products with no competition because we own the patents. It appeals to all markets. Everybody gets benefits from children to geriatrics. They're very affordable. That NRF2 is a little more than $1 a day. If you use all 3 of them, it's like $3.50 a day. Okay, it's backed by reputable science. It's consumable. We use a subscription model. And when you're on subscription, you get free shipping and a big discount. Okay, so the last question is, can I do this? Well, here's the secret. Okay, there's a couple secrets I'm going to share with you tonight. And one thing I want to mention, I know Zuma, you're on there. Don't let me forget when we go back to full screen, I have 2 giveaways that I want to give away to the guests tonight. So just please do not let me forget that. But here's the thing, can I do this? Okay, so here's secret number 2. You are already doing it. You're just not getting paid. Saying, wait a second, Bobby, what are you talking about? If you have a phone, a smartphone, you are doing what it takes to earn money in a business like this with a product like this. You're already doing it. Have you ever used an app? Have you ever checked your Instagram or Facebook on your phone? Have you ever called an Uber on your phone? Have you ever used Airbnb? Have you ever used the Amazon app? Have you ever checked your email? If you've done that, have you ever texted your family or friends? If you do any of that, you're doing what it takes to do this business. You already know how to do it. And you know what's neat? We do business during the in-between times of the day. And what do you mean the in-between times of the day? Well, whenever you got a minute here, a minute there, 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there, that's kind of when we do it. You don't set hours and hours and hours aside. It's the same thing when you're checking your email, text message, or using an app. It works the same way. We have a very simple system. Just as easy as you got an invite for tonight, you can invite someone else, okay? We invite, we share a tool that's either a video or a Zoom link. And when the questions need to be answered, a teammate gets in and helps out and validates. I mean, that's all there is to doing this as a business. So how can you be supportive? I'm going to talk to you about a couple things here, but every once in a while when we're doing things, and you'll know what I mean by this, we get confirmation that we're really kind of on to the right thing. And I've had a challenging couple of days. My dad's been in the hospital. Fortunately, it looks like he's okay and should be going home tomorrow, the next day. But I had an opportunity to be in the ICU. I had an opportunity to speak to some of the nurses and doctors in there. And we actually, 2 of the nurses, I got into a conversation about not our business so much, but the products, and started talking a little bit about COVID and how we can do better with COVID, and got into a conversation about vaccination, not vaccination, natural immunity and stuff. I'm telling you, folks, if you listen to the medical field, they are all over this kind of stuff. This is the future. It is the best kept secret in the world. We have one of the best immune system enhancers in the world, and there ain't nothing quite like having a supernaturally healthy immune system. So you can activate your own health by being a customer. There's no fees to join. Monthly subscription orders are easy to cancel, but you get a discount, you get free shipping. What we're looking for are folks that have an interest in using the product, but maybe earning some money with it. You know, the whole COVID thing, this whole pandemic for the last 18, 19, 20 months has definitely affected people's incomes in various parts of the country and around the world. So if you know anyone out there that has a need or a desire for a second or third income, so maybe they don't have all their eggs in one basket, okay, we're looking to add distributors to, to the business. We are short on distributors. We are long on customers. People start using the product, they never come off. We want distributors to be sharing the information with other people. We appreciate referrals. You get on the product, you like it, you don't want to do the business. Hey, whoever invited you, we are extremely grateful for any referrals that you can send. I'd rather you send the referrals to yourself. Okay, you refer people to yourself, but when you see how great these products are, please be a referral source to the person who invited you if you don't want to get them yourself, okay? And the only thing you need to do if you are interested in getting started, or maybe we raised some questions, you had no clue what you were going to watch and you want to get some questions answered, just get back to the person who invited you and say, hey, this is interesting. I got a few questions. When can we talk? Okay, and we'll get those questions answered for you right away. But what I want to do is, number one, say thank you and let you know we are very, very grateful for your time and support. We never take it for granted. So whoever invited you, I'm sure feels the same way, okay, about it. But I want to stop sharing and go back to the full screen because I really like looking at all the people on the screen. Hey, everyone, wave back. I like when you acknowledge and wave back. It's funny. I remember when we first started doing these Zooms, it's probably a couple of years ago now. And now it's just like turning on the TV, it's just as normal as it gets doing these Zooms. But I got two things for you. Okay. I don't know if you can see this, but it's a shaker bottle and it's got one of those metal balls in it that mix and shake things up. Okay, it says Axio on it. It's got one of our products, brand new. Okay, this is for, you ready? Write this down. Okay, for the first new customer that was on this Zoom that becomes a customer, you get it. Okay, so if you're a distributor and you get a customer, you need to let us know who was first. Okay, and it's time stamped, when you get your email. But this is whoever the first customer is, get this. And then I got something really cool. Anyone considering being a distributor, okay, showing you a picture doesn't do it justice, but it's a really cool fanny pack that's got a lot of compartments and stuff, and it's great. It's got LifeVantage on it, adjustable belt, the whole thing. So whoever the first distributor is, in about 1 minute, okay, we'll get that. Okay, so we have 2 free giveaways: the bottle for the first customer, the fanny pack for the first distributor. And with that, we're right on time. I'd just like to say this: thank you from the bottom of our hearts. We really appreciate you giving us some of your time to learn a little bit more. If we did pique your interest, please get back to the person who told you about it. But with that, God bless you. We appreciate your time. We look forward to seeing you or meeting you real soon, and have a good night. Bye-bye, everyone.